allegedly. So Sarah was just saying about the weather here has been terrible over the weekend, and her boat's been rocking about and giving her a bad night's sleep. So
Yes.
yes, we do need a tour of the boat though today. This is the last hangout, remember?
Yes. I'll see what I can do. The only problem is it's very dark, and I can't. The tide's out, and also it's a bit tricky to go outside. Because I'd need to take my tablet with me, because obviously that's the one that's got the signal. So I'm not sure if we can do it today.
Oh,
Is this our last? This is our last hangout, isn't it?
it is. It is. We'll
Yes,
just have
that's
to
the
do some
same.
photos instead then.
Yeah, I'll post some photos up. It's definitely not a good day for going outside today, which is a shame. Yeah, I'll do photos.
Okay, I haven't ventured out yet. In fact, I haven't even pulled the curtains back yet. It's still pretty dark out there.
Horrid.
Okay, well, we're not seeing anybody beaming into the Q&A yet, and we've still got 0 on the viewer counter. If you've got, brilliant. Clinton is there, fantastic, and Ryan.
Oh yes, we've got some people coming in now.
Great, so we're starting to get people coming through. So we've got Edward and Apple with us this morning, which is
Hello.
great, fantastic. Hi. And the viewer count is going up. We've got 3 people viewing, and we've got Kai there as well. Fantastic.
不会出现的。
Sorry, Edward.
Will sometimes won't.
You okay there? Right. So I think we can probably start because yeah, we're up to 8 now. We've got a message from Ryan. Yes. Hi, Ryan. We were just saying that the weather here in the UK has been horrible this weekend. It's been rainy and really windy all weekend. And it's the remnants of a hurricane, isn't it, Sarah? I think that's come over from America.
Yeah.
So it's been a really miserable, dark, wet weekend. So I hope it's been nicer for you. And we're looking forward to seeing some pictures from Singapore, hopefully of some sunshine. Oops, and we've lost people. Oh, who have we got here? Who have we got here? Let's see. Oh, who's this?
How cute.
What's his name?
Name is Pudding.
Sorry.
Her name is Pudding. Pudding.
Pudding.
Pudding.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, that's lovely. Okay. I'm going to have to take a picture of this. Just to keep this. Hang on a second. Yeah, if anyone else wants to share pictures of sunshine or pets, then please do. Right, hang on, I'm just trying to find my camera. Right. Oh, so cute. I'll get mine when we've done the business stuff. I'll get mine. Right, picture. Fantastic. have you got Millie there, Sarah?
Millie is in the bed.
Oh, hiding.
Yes, she's hiding. She's not anywhere where I can show you her. She's actually in the bed under the quilt at the moment.
Okay. Fair enough. Ryan's saying he needs to bring his brolly to the UK. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, definitely, Ryan.
We've been very lucky this autumn so far, but we've, the last few days it's made up for it. Okay, so Clinton's saying she likes your cap, Edward.
Yeah, I like it too.
Right, what else have we got here? Okay, there's a few good mornings. Right, so don't forget questions as usual in the Q&A or on Twitter. We'll look at Twitter in a minute. Perhaps I think the main purpose of today's session is really to talk about your final assignment, which is due in on Friday, and to get some feedback from Apple and Edward here, who've kindly volunteered to participate, which is great. So a few comments from them in a minute would be good. Oh, she's just so cute. It's going to be hard to concentrate with a little dog staring at me. Right, okay, so I'm just having a look and see if there's any questions coming in. Can't see any so far. Okay, Sarah, have you got anything? We haven't seen you for a few days. Have you got any updates or any comments or anything you want to?
Yeah, I'm going to have a bit of a. Yeah, I am actually. I'm going to say something about citing sources.
Okay.
Because it is a bit of a thing of mine, I must admit. Because if you're using an image or a video or something that you found on the internet, you absolutely have to find out the source of that image. even if you've taken it from someone else's blog, did that person actually own the original image in the first place? And if you can't track down the owner of the image, then don't use it. Flickr has got, there's masses and masses of photographs in Flickr that are in what they call the Creative Commons. That means that you're very free to use them, although you must obviously cite the source as being the Flickr account. You can do anything you like with them except change them. That's the one thing that you're not allowed to do under Creative Commons. So I do have a bit of a bee in my bonnet about this, and there's another good reason for it. You know, as students, you're going to be putting a lot of your stuff on the World Wide Web as you go through your lives, images of your friends and your family, and maybe videos that you shoot. And the last thing you want is someone else taking those things that belong to you and using them as if they are their own. You'd be really cross about that, and I think you also need to respect that in other people. If you can't find out who owns it, the original owner, then please don't use it. Just leave it. Use your own photograph or the video you've created yourself, or find something in the Creative Commons, please.
Yeah, I would definitely second that. I think I'm getting a message received signal from Edward there. People can be sued for this. You know, if you publish someone's photo, they can sue you. They can get quite messy. I know it's probably very rare and very unlikely they would find out, but it has happened. So it is very important. It's part of this whole public face of the web. We don't realise sometimes, I think, quite how public what we put up there really is, and 20 years later something could come back and bite you. Okay, so that's that little lecture out the way, hopefully. Sorry, Sarah, you were saying?
Just saying that's my moan out the way.
Moan out the way. Okay, perhaps now would be a good point then to hand over to our guests, Apple and Edward. And do you want to say a few words to your colleagues?
Okay. First of all, I'd like to represent the whole class in thanking all of you for the consistency of the guidance, because we can definitely see that we have improved over the past 12 days. Like for me, my grades have definitely gone up, seeing how the advice was, and I work on that. So other than that, I know that because we are very different from the UK students, they have 12 weeks, whereas we only have 12 days. So although it is hard for us to do our assignments one block per day, but I understand too that it is hard on you guys too, that you guys have to mark our papers in one day. So thank you so much for that.
That's quite all right. It's been a pleasure. You've been a very enthusiastic group, and it's true what you said about the improvement, and I've said that on all the ones I marked, that if you look back through we've lost the dog. If you look back to your topic ones and just see how much your work has changed and developed since then, I think you should all be very pleased. So thank you for that. And Apple, did you want to add anything?
No, he said whatever I want to say really.
We've got two for you for the price of one here. So that's great.
Patrick is joining us later. Patrick is on the way to our location. He will be joining us, running a bit late because it's raining here in Singapore.
Okay, so he's on his way. Great. Okay, well hopefully we can get three of you on one picture before the end of the session. Right. Okay. I'm going to just share the screen a minute because I just want to say a few things about the last assignment. So bear with me a moment. Okay. Right. Great. And there's some pictures coming through too. Shannon shared a picture out of the window of some rain. Can you all see that? Okay. Sarah, can you see?
Hang on. I was over on Twitter apologising for not showing my boat. Hang on. Where am I? Yes, I can see that. That's fabulous. Yep.
Okay, I'm just scrolling down through the tweets. Oh, God, there's a horrible picture of me. Let's move swiftly on. Okay, don't seem to be any other pictures there at the moment, but yeah, please pop your pictures through. We love to see them. As you know by now, we can't actually see you. Obviously, we can see Edward and Apple today, but we can't see the rest of you. So it's good to get some visuals. Right, so what I want to say about assignment 2, I'm just looking at the assessment page of the module blog. I'm just scrolling down because we're down to here now, where it says your own digital portfolio. So I did talk about this on Thursday in the last hangout, but just as a reminder, and for anyone who wasn't in on that session, just a few words about what we're looking for here. You can see you've got a bit more of a word limit this time, 500 words, but it isn't just the actual post we're looking at. We're looking for you to provide links to other things that you've done. So effectively, you've got a lot more than 500 words, but you don't just write it as text. You provide it in the form of links or images or whatever is relevant in your particular case. So it is a substantial piece of work. It is, as you can see here, 50% of the value of the module, so it's worth your while putting a lot of effort into this week, and it's why you've got longer to do it. So you've got till the end of Friday, the 20th, to work on this. So what we're asking you to do is to think about what all the things we've discussed on the module mean for you personally, in terms of how you, going forwards, are going to develop your own digital profile, whether that be for your study generally or for particular employability prospects that you want to pursue. So it isn't about rehashing things that you've already said, unless you specifically want to rethink something in the context of what it means for you personally. So that is absolutely fine, but please don't see this as a summary of summaries. We're not looking for you to repeat what you've done before. It's really about kind of where you are now in terms of what you've learned and what's going to impact on you, and more importantly, what you're going to do about that going forwards. Okay, so a way of getting started with it is to think back to the self-test that you did, the little audit document right at the start of the module a couple of weeks ago, because in that document we asked you to basically think about your position at that time in terms of the different channels you used and what you used them for. So it would be a really interesting exercise to look back at that and compare what you've changed over the course of this module in each of those categories. Okay, so something you might like to do is to present an old and a new version of that side by side, or you might think of some other more creative way of displaying how you've changed in different categories and why that has been the case. Okay, so in terms of the specific questions, you can see there's two parts. So the first part asks you to provide the evidence for the things that you think have changed. So that might be links to things you've written, links to conversations that you've had with your colleagues or with other people. So it's not just a general chat, but we want to see the evidence base. Okay, and then the other part is thinking about what this means for you going forwards. So what are you going to do with all of this new knowledge and new skills? How are you going to build on it further? Which bits do you think are most important for you into the future? And perhaps coming up with some kind of plan for what you're going to be doing over the next few months or even years in terms of your future careers. Does that make sense? Is that anything there that you think I've not said clearly, Sarah, or missed out?
No, all sounded fine to me. Yep, it all sounded fine.
Okay. Are there any questions coming through? Because I'm still on screen share.
Let's just having a look. Don't seem to be any new questions at the moment. I've just commented on Twitter that it's really nice to see 3 students. That's lovely. And also echoing what you've just said, Lisa, about how enjoyable it's been reading their work and seeing how things have improved. The other thing I've just said on Twitter is that it was actually quite scary yesterday. As I was busy marking, there were at least 2 of you that were, well, not necessarily 2 of you 3, but 2 of your group who were in the document, and I could see were reading as I was typing my comments. That was so I had to think, okay, well, let's just be careful what I write here, because I can see that they're in, and as I do it, they're reading it. So that was quite scary. I've never had that before.
Yeah, that is quite weird, isn't it? Yeah,
it is.
Real-time marking.
Yeah.
I see we have Patrick with us now too. Brilliant. Let's have a look. put you on the big screen. Hi, morning to you, Patrick.
Hi, morning.
Morning. So you'll be pleased to know that it seems to be really nice and quiet this morning. And so, and unlike the last week when we had you in the very nice but very noisy cafe. So.
We've got one question. Shannon has asked, do we need to comment on the others' final blog posts?
No. You're welcome to if you want, but we're not. Obviously, you're very welcome to, but we won't actually be marking that. No. Okay. Right. I've just seen another question here from Ryan. Ryan says, I've developed an interesting video. Okay. Pause the video if necessary for effective grading. Okay, warning, it's rather wordy. Right, okay. Warning, it's rather wordy. Well, that's interesting. So perhaps you might want to have a look at I'm just trying to think how we can translate video words into text words. Because, if you're writing, what's the video equivalent of a blog post? It's probably only 2 or 3 minutes, I would say. Do you think that's fair, Sarah?
Yeah, I think so. And actually, I did mark somebody's work who had done it all on video, which was fine and lovely, except that I would have liked a short summary in the post as well as the video. To me, the video should add. It should never be a substitute. It should add extra and explain things in more detail because you haven't got enough words in a big enough word allowance. But I do want to read a summary as well as Ryan, so not just the video. A short summary would be lovely. Right? Is it Ryan? Ryan, are you the one that's done? There's one of you, and I think it might be you, Ryan, or maybe it's someone else who's done all sorts of interesting things on their blog. Who's really kind of pushed the boat out and had a go at who's done videos and done all sorts of interesting things. And I'm sure it's you. Who's really arranged your work on your whole blog post as well really well. I think it's you. If it's not you, it's someone else. There's definitely one of you who's really kind of embraced the whole technical aspect of what you can do on a blog and how you can organise things, and I was really quite impressed. It's looking really good.
Perhaps you could share that one on Twitter, Sarah.
Yes. Yeah, I will do. Yeah.
So people can see.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been encouraging people to make more use of video because, and it's good. I've noticed in topic 5 it's starting to come through, and hopefully we'll do so even more in the final post. And I think, particularly as marketers, you can't ignore the power of video. I mean, it's quite amazing, really. You've only got to think about how easy it is nowadays to just watch little clips on your phone as and when in real time, to see that that's really got to be the future of communications. And if you look at any of the stats which show, the amount of time people spend watching video on mobiles, I mean, they're just going higher and higher. So I think any marketing role going forwards, you need to be kind of aware of the power of that. And this module is a great place to practice. Okay, I'm just going to have a look and see if there's any more questions coming through.
There's something on Twitter. Actually, I have seen this before, and I want to say I ignored it. That's not the right word. I kind of passed over it and thought I'll come back to it later. So this is Ong Yi Lin. Please forgive me if I haven't said that properly. She said this before. I've noticed that one of the sections in my topic 3 is not graded. Please advise. Yeah, I did. I saw that, and the thing is that at the end of all this, which is one of the things that all 3 of us were doing yesterday, is as well as the marks for the individual topics, or the guidance for the marks for the individual topics, I should say, at the end of it, we go back through everything, and we then start to think about what a final grade is going to be. And I think it's right. Lisa will correct me here if I'm wrong, but certainly the marks that you've had on the topics as you go through are a guidance that's not necessarily going to be the final mark. So you can't just kind of total it all up and say, oh yeah, it looks like I'm in this band, because we'll take a view of all of your posts over the 12 days that you've been doing this, and make a final decision. So I guess on on the positive side, if you've got a couple of low marks on your posts, that won't necessarily be reflected in the final grade. In the same way that if you've got a couple of really high ones, that doesn't necessarily mean that your final grade is going to be really high either. We'll take an overview of the whole of the course before deciding what your final grade is going to be. Is that a fair summary, Lisa?
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. And if anybody thinks they're missing anything, the best way to address it is by putting a comment into the document in the appropriate place, because that will then show up at our end, and we'll see that you've added a comment, and we can check it out directly. So if you think there's something missing, or that we couldn't find one of your comments, for example, and ask for the link, then the best way for us to sort that is if you could just add in the missing information by means of a comment directly into the document. That's one of the great things about these Google Docs, really, is the way they can be used collaboratively in that way. And it's really easy for us to spot then that there's something that needs another look at. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely true that we're going to be going through and moderating everyone's work to make sure we're fair, because I realise there've been different people marking, and also we've in this last section that we've just marked, we swapped around as well, so we haven't all marked the same people all the way through. So we've each had a look at different students' work. So if you see that the style of feedback is different, that's because it was either Sarah, me, or Nick in some places, and others of us in others, if you see what I mean. So we're trying to be as fair as we can. But I don't think anyone need worry. I mean, all the ones I've seen so far, everyone has improved through the module, in some cases quite dramatically so. And I don't think anyone's got anything to worry about in terms of getting bad marks. Right. Okay. Any more questions here?
I have a question.
Yeah.
From Clinton. His topic 5 has not been marked yet. He's asking me to relay to both of you.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's one of Nick's, isn't it? I think that's one of Nick Fair's doing that one.
Yes, Nick has been on a stag weekend. We will share with you. You know what a stag weekend is? Do you have stag weekends out in Singapore? This is. I
never thought that.
It's basically before someone gets married, the bridegroom will go out on a holiday with his best man and other people that he's with, and they will do something really silly in some cases just before the wedding. So Nick and his friends have been somewhere in Wiltshire in all this bad weather walking for the weekend with no internet connection. So he is probably marking your work right now, but we are meeting at 11 o'clock this morning, all three of us, as we usually do, to cross-reference what we've done. So I think you'll find if your work hasn't been marked yet, by the end of this morning, so that'll be by sort of 8 o'clock your time, then you should find it's appeared. But be gentle with him, because he's probably got a massive hangover. Or pneumonia as well, most likely, if he's been camping out in all this rain. So Sarah and I did most of ours yesterday because nobody invited us on a weekend away in the rain, so we were marking. But I can assure you, if you haven't got your feedback yet, it will all be sorted by the end of your day today. Okay, any other comments?
I just wanted to say that I'm still getting emails through from people, and although I don't necessarily reply to all of them, I do read them, by the way, so please don't think you're being ignored. You're not. It's just that I've obviously got lots of other things to do, and so I'm reading them, replying if it's obvious that I really have to, but otherwise you're not being ignored. It's just that I have some other things to get on with, but I do read everything.
Okay, there's one other thing I wanted to show you a minute. I'm just going to screen share again. Some of you may have seen, hang on, have I got the right page? No, it's that page. Too many tabs open here. Some of you may have seen I did a Storify last night, and if you featured in it, you will have got a tweet saying that, can you see this here? Living and working on the web, the story so far. Can you see that, Sarah?
Hang on, I was just looking at Twitter. Oh yes, yeah.
Okay, so this is something you might like to think about yourselves if you haven't used it before. It's called Storify. It's one of these free web tools. You can basically pull in items from the web that you want to curate into a collection. So what I've done here is I've pulled together some of the tweets that you guys have done over the past couple of weeks, and I've kind of categorized them because you can add in. You see this text here, it says good to see extra resources being shared. You can add in text as commentary to support what it is you're trying to display. So for example, down here I've put lots of learning from reading the work of others, and there's a group of tweets where people have commented on the benefits they've obtained from doing that. And if you scroll down, you can. I've made another note here, good to see contributions from the UK students. So there's Sophie's beaming into the Hangout, and there's some of the weird places that you use to log into the Hangout from. So there's the car, and the cafes, and the dog Sparky, and then Patrick on the previous Hangout. Some of your food too. So and then Sarah's supper. Where was that pub, by the way, Sarah?
So that was the Dolphin, which is just the other. It was basically just by St Denis Station, so it's just across the road from me. It's actually really nice. It's a nice pub.
Okay, so that's the fish and chips from the Dolphin, and then somebody, Andrea, is eating a sandwich while watching the Hangout. So that's a combination of eating and learning, and then some feedback. People saying they like the module, which is nice to see. So I just thought that was just something I pulled together very quickly last night, really just to demonstrate the sort of thing you could do. You might like to try something similar. If you go to Storify, just open a free account, just put in the Manj2049 hashtag, and it will present you with all of the tweets. And you can just choose which ones you want to keep and how you want to organize them. You can just drag and drop them up and down the screen and add in a bit of text as you wish. So it's really quite a useful way of summarizing any topic, really, if you've got a number of tweets and pictures to pull together. So I just thought that might be something some of you might like to try. And if there's any more interesting information that comes out today or during the rest of the week, I'll add that in as well. But it isn't supposed to be like an audit of every single tweet. It's really just a few kind of highlights of things I thought that were worth keeping, a bit like the favourites on Twitter, really. Okay, so any more? Stop screen sharing now. Right.
Easter has just posted a picture on Twitter of, well, it looks like, well, it's obviously the dashboard of a car, so she's posted a photograph of a phone on the dashboard showing our guests on the Hangout. But what's a bit scary is that the vehicle is doing just short of 2,000 revs, and I'm guessing it's kilometres per hour, and doing about 70 kilometres per hour.
Great. Okay.
That's Easter that's posted that.
Okay. So hopefully she's not driving at the same time.
Easter, he likes to live dangerously. Dangerously, YOLO.
That sounds like one to add into my Storify then.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm not seeing any more questions in the list. Oh, the dog. I'll go and get Badger in a minute. Just having a look down the list of questions. I think we've covered them all. Yeah. Okay. I think we're pretty much there. Have you guys got anything else you want to add while you're all there?
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just wondering, because I was looking through last year's work for the final assessment, as well as those from the UK side. So I was wondering, because there is a large range of what they did. Some did videos, some just did write up. So for the assessment-wise, how will we be graded? Is there any specific requirements that you guys are looking out for?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've encouraged you to try tools other than just text all the way through. So, and there is a category. If you look at the bottom of your Google Mark sheet, there is a table there which relates to the second assessed task, which we haven't used yet. It's a blank table at the moment, but it's got, I think, 4 or 5 categories in the left-hand column. So it's very similar to the topic-by-topic tables that you've got, but it tells you how we're going to mark your final assessment. So I'm pretty sure, I'm not looking at it at the moment, but I'm pretty sure one of the categories is, as it is in the other table, it's about, creativity and your use of different media. So that's certainly one of the things we'll be looking for. But having said that, the point is really that it should be... Oh, great. Who have we got here now?
It's the one that lives dangerously.
How many people can see the Hangout? This is fantastic. I need to take another photo. Hang on, another photo required. I completely forgot what I was saying now, but never mind. Right. Can we have a look, please?
Hi.
Fantastic. That's a really good picture. I'll put that on Twitter when we're finished. There's too much thinking about while I'm talking, but I'll do that. Brilliant. Excellent. Yeah, what was I saying? I've completely forgotten. Oh, yes, the table. Yes, about being creative in your final post. But what we don't want to see is people just sticking in all sorts of stuff just because they think it should be there, all right? It's about using things that are useful and relevant and help you get your point across. So don't think, oh, if I put in 10 different videos, I'll get more marks, all right? I mean, we'd rather see one video that's directly relevant and useful and adds value than people just thinking, oh, we'll stick in as much as we can just to make it look pretty, all right? So I think that's the key point to bear in mind. And if you want to just use text, you can just use text, but it's a bit boring, really. A bit boring, as I'm sure you've found when you've read other people's. What encourages you to read something is normally something different and catchy, whether it's an image or a diagram or a video. And as marketers, I think that's something you need to bear in mind, not just for your own communications, but for acting on behalf of a company as well. Okay, right, Sarah, do you want to just say a few words? I'm just going to go and get Badger so we can get as many dogs in the picture as possible a minute, okay?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just wanted to repeat that I really have enjoyed marking all your work. It's been a delight for me, largely in part that I've never actually marked the work of any overseas students before. All my marking and all my interaction with students has all been with British students, so it's been really lovely to see work from students from a completely different culture to mine, and seen the way that you've approached things. It has been really, really interesting, so thank you very, very much for that. Oh, here comes Badger. Millie is actually snoozing on the quilt, so I think on the top of the quilt, so I think I'm going to be able to get a bit of a view of her as well.
Okay, so we need someone to take a picture of all this. I'm not sure if I've got a spare hand now, so right.
There's Millie. Can you see her?
Okay. Let me put you on full screen, Sarah. Hang on. There she is. There she is. Yes.
Yeah.
She's maybe hidden under the. Hang on. Let me try the picture again. Fantastic. She's looking quite bemused. Why are you disturbing my sleep? Okay, so that's 3 dogs in one hangout. That's not bad, really. All we need now is Sparky. He definitely features in the Storify that I did. Oh gosh, there's something else appearing. You're looking at the floor.
It is bright enough for me to show you my view out of the boat again, like I did before.
Oh, yeah, I'll put you on full screen. There we go.
So this is what I wake up to every morning. You can see the tide's out. So, and you can also this is the boats belonging to my neighbours. A bit of a motley collection, but they do them up.
Right.
They've always got all sorts of things kicking around here, and then their better boats are further out down there.
Oh, it looks pretty muddy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, as I say, the tide's out now, so it's not brilliant.
Huh.
And I'll post some pictures of the outside of it on Twitter.
Yeah,
at the end of this.
can you actually use your boat as a boat anymore?
Yes, yes. The if I show you, so if I move this, so the engine is under there. I don't know how much. Oh, here we go. Look. So that kind of lump that you can see in the bottom of the screen, the engine is under there.
Right. Wow.
So although it's not running at the moment because it needs an exhaust, it will be. That's the next job, is to get the engine running, and get a seat for the so you can actually sit and steer it. Actually, if I can't. So right, this is a bit tricky. So I've shown you where the engine is, which is under the lump there, and if I just come around and up there, let me see. Oh yeah, you can see it. See, there's where the pilot would sit, but of course the chair and all the stuff has gone because the inside of the boat's been stripped out.
Yeah.
Sitting there. So the next job is to get something, is to sort out how that's going to work. And then yes, the engine can be started and the boat can be driven and we can go places.
Fantastic.
If we want to.
That's amazing. Well, thank you, Sarah. That's a really interesting tour. Right, I'm just seeing there's a question popped up here from Amelia. It says, if we decide to take a certain approach for the future, we still need to provide research for it. Well, yeah, I mean, I think you would want to explain why you've decided on that approach. So, you know, what was it that inspired you to take that decision? Definitely, yeah. I mean, it might not necessarily be an article. It might be a conversation. It might be something you read from one of your colleagues. So, in which case, you say credit the person that you were inspired by. But yeah, you should always. It's always good practice to not just make vague general statements, but to explain, you know, what it was in particular that made you think that way. Okay, is there anything else on Twitter, Sarah? Before we.
Oh, let me just have a quick.
I'm just looking down the list on here a minute.
Nothing new at the moment. I'll do a quick refresh. No, nothing new at the moment. Audrey's just said she's made her video public after realising that I couldn't view it, so that's fine. I'll go back and we'll have another look later on. Somebody's lunch during work. So obviously, obviously lunchtime over there then? Lovely picture of some very tasty looking food.
I haven't had breakfast yet, so that's yeah, the next job.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys, we're going to finish in a second. Is there anything else you want to add before we disappear? Another good cap there. No other comments?
No, can't. I'm just going through the questions. No, there's nothing new to add there.
Right. Okay, in that case, then we should sign off. So this is the final hangout. I know it's an extra one, so we're not going to do any more hangouts. But obviously, you know where we are. You know where we are on Twitter. You know our email addresses. You're very welcome to come and visit. I know Ryan is coming over fairly soon, but obviously, any of you that want to come over, we'd be very happy to see you. So please stay in touch, and we hope you've enjoyed everything. And if you've got more questions during this week about your final piece of work, then you know just ping us and let us know what's bothering you. Okay. No, he's gone. I thought we were going to see Pudding again. But, okay. I think we're done then, Sarah.
Yes, thank you.
So thanks to all four of you for beaming in. That's very good. Let me just get one more picture of the four of you because you're looking very. Hang on. Right, smile.
We have to speak up. Hi.
There we go. Got ya. Right. So thank you for that. That's very brave of you. And we've had no issues with sound or anything today, so that's been great. Good old technology. Technology's worked.
I'm using a MacBook, so everything works.
Well, that's good to know. Right, so we'll say goodbye for now then. Any closing words from you, Sarah?
No, just yes. I mean, obviously, you know my email. You know, quite a few of you follow me on Twitter. So just because this module is finished doesn't mean that we won't speak to each other. And really looking forward to it. Great.
All right. So thanks again, guys, and we will see you on the internet somewhere, or even for real. You never know. So cheerio then.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.